Well, happy Monday, guys. We're shooting up across the board right now in the stock market after we got some huge news regarding the U.S. and China trade war over the weekend. We're going to cover everything that you need to know in this video regarding the news we got, the stock market, stocks I'm watching right now. But first, hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. And of course, take a sip of your coffee. You're going to need it for this video. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive into it. So it is about 11 a.m. on the East Coast right now, and we are up, like I said, across the board right now. The S&P's up 2.6%. The NASDAQ 100 is up 3.2%. The Dow's up 2.4%, and we have the Russell up almost 3%. As the VIX is back in the teens. You heard that right. We're down 12% on the day on the VIX, trading at 19 points as of right now, as gold's down 3%. And we have silver down about 0.5%. So before we dive into the charts, stocks that are moving, what I'm doing right now in this stock market, let's break down the breaking news that we got, which I'm sure you all were kind of paying attention to. What's been going on? I mean, if you didn't know, U.S. and Chinese officials met in Switzerland over the weekend discussing tariffs, the trade war, kind of what's going to happen next, where things are headed, blah, blah, blah. And you can see here, the U.S. and China agree to temporary tariff cuts. Yes, you heard that right. So coming down here a little bit, we can see that over the weekend in Switzerland, again, the U.S. and China agreed to temporarily slash tariffs following negotiations. And we can see, if I zoom in, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, which we've been hearing a lot about Scott Bessent as of late, he said today on Monday that talks with China had been very productive and both countries had agreed to cut reciprocal tariffs by 115% for 90 days. You heard that right. That brings U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods down to 30% and Chinese tariffs on U.S. imports to 10%. Insane. And Bessent told CNBC's Squawk Box on Monday that he expects to meet once again with representatives from Beijing in the next few weeks to iron out a bigger agreement. And stocks across the board are going up, obviously, but especially stocks like Best Buy, which sells electronics and appliances vulnerable to tariffs. That one's up 8-9%. Dell Technologies and On Semiconductor are a couple other ones that climbed 8 to 10% respectively. Amazon, which I'm sure you guys saw, well, probably not yet. We're going to cover it in this video. It's up more than 8% now, and Apple's popping as well. And overall, guys, this is great news. Great news. Uncertainty's coming down, right? It seems like we're getting negotiations. We're getting to a common ground here, right? And the light's at the end of the tunnel. Finally, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel as of right now. And yeah, with uncertainty coming down, the VIX coming down, us coming closer to a deal here with China, which it's always been about the U.S. and China, right? This is great news for stocks overall. Great news for stocks. As you all know, they are forward-looking vehicles, and they're pricing it in now essentially pricing in a trade deal. And excuse me, I got my allergies are awful. They're terrible. They've been bad, so I have my little tissue right here wiping my nose up as I'm making this video. We're not editing, guys. We're not doing that today. And quite frankly, we never edit here on the channel. But either way, UBS head of fixed income Kurt Riemann wrote today on Monday that we believe peak uncertainty over trade has passed, but market volatility is likely to stay. Yeah, that makes sense. And he said, our base case remains that the effective U.S. tariff rate will moderate toward 15% by the end of the year or by year end. Which, okay, yeah, I could see that. And Piper Sandler, head of U.S. policy, Andy Lapiri, wrote in a Monday note, he said, nothing is ever permanent when it comes to Trump's tariffs, and there is a July 9th deadline for reciprocal tariffs and an August deadline for China, so things can change, obviously, but maybe Trump has found a rough tariff equilibrium for now, a 10% universal tariff, 25% product tariffs, and 30% China tariffs, which, yeah, I mean, looks like maybe he found some, rough tariff equilibrium for now, but who knows? Maybe things can change. But overall, that is the big news right now, sending stocks up like crazy. I mean, like we saw in the beginning of the video, we are up massively across the board, well over 2%. Earlier in the day, actually, we were up, I think, almost 4% on the NASDAQ, same with the Russell. So we are down a little bit from those intraday highs and the pre-market highs, but still, man, we are seeing a beautiful green day across the board as the entire market now, it's safe to say, we're breaking out. SPY's fully breaking out. We're taking out the highs now from the end of March, right? So all those losses in April, poof, they're gone. If you bought up this dip, you're in good shape, right? Same thing on QQQ. QQQ actually looks even better. I mean, man, we are fully breaking out of the highs from the end of March, and we're now up off the lows about 28%. So this is why you don't panic sell. How many times do I have to say this, guys, throughout these videos? Don't panic sell. This is why you don't do it and try and time the bottom and get back in and, hope and pray you get in at lower prices than where you sold, because I guarantee you wouldn't have predicted this now, would you? That we would have rebounded so fast. Guess what? I figured this would happen. I've been in the market now for 10 years. I've seen this happen time and time again, and I figured we would get to a deal at some point. It's going to take a couple of weeks. We'll get there. Markets will be back. This too shall pass. And it kind of seems like that's what's going down right now, right? We're up 30% almost off the lows on QQQ. SPY's up probably like 20% off the lows. We're up around $100 a share off the lows on SPY, guys. 21% jump. Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say we're starting to rebound now, to reverse back to the upside, and stocks are moving. I mean, we have stocks like Carnival Cruise Line, which I like right now as a swing trade. It's breaking out 8% on the day, clearly breaking out on the 4-hour chart here, and on the 3-year chart, CCL looks phenomenal, right? So keep your eyes on that. Amazon, which is definitely, it's sensitive to tariffs. This one's up over 7%. This triangle that we called out a couple of days ago, ascending triangle, is playing out. That looks pretty bullish. We're now at a multi-week high on Amazon, and we've erased all the losses from April, just like that, and we're back over $200. So Amazon looks really good on the charts. Tesla, which I don't necessarily agree with this going up so much, but hey, it's up 6%. Tesla filled the gap now that we talked about over the weekend. Filled the gap to 320. If this breaks, we could be going up to the next gap, 360, 370, right? So we are completely exploding. Stocks are doing very well across the board. You name it, big tech, smaller companies, you name it, man. We're looking very good. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and my second channel where we're doing a cash giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. And we're almost there, guys. That is linked down below. Join the email list and check out my Patreon as well if you want to be a part of my portfolio. See how I'm building it every single week. All of those are down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.